Abusive people do this. And the more and more that you are familiar with things, you will be much more familiar and understand how the mind works. So, for example, I promise you this: if someone really wants to do something with you, they are not easily discouraged. Okay. And when I say this, I mean, short of you pulling out a gun on them, they're going to do whatever it is with you because they truly want to do it. Okay, so say for example, this is the very first time you and this person pray together, right? And you get so excited, you interrupt the prayer, okay? And the person says, well, you interrupted the prayer. I'm not going to pray now. And you tell the person, you explain to them why you interrupted the prayer. And they show you their grudge, they show you punishment, may even have the audacity to call you a narcissist. Okay? So be mindful of these kind of characters. And that doesn't mean the person that's doing it is a narcissist that did that to you. However, they did not want to do the prayer with you in the first place. And that's one of the most saddest things that I've learned in life. It was very hurtful when I came to the conclusion that a lot of times my emotional abuse that may have been subjected on me by others in my adulthood were by people that did not want to do it with me anyway. Okay? And what has saved me, and this is why you got to be very careful not to give up on your children, right? What has saved me in my adult life is in childhood having people in my life that genuinely wanted to do it. I can remember growing up when Uncle Paul used to take us to McDonald's. He loved some McDonald's. He genuinely loved McDonald's himself. And on some level was just like a big kid, okay? May he rest in peace. And the excitement he had taking us to McDonald's was genuine. He never gave us no problems because he really wanted to go to McDonald's for himself and for us. So I'm just throwing in some kind of childhood example so you can get it. So when people punish you or subject a punishment because you do the least little thing, like the example I used with the prayer. Oh, well, you interrupted the prayer. I'm not going to finish it. That's also not what an empathetic person would do. If you told an empathetic person, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry I interrupted that prayer because I got so excited because it was our first prayer. An empathetic person would be like, okay, I see where you're coming from. Well, let's just start the prayer over. Even a rational and logical person would do that. So be careful and accept when people never wanted to do it in the first place. And if you recognize it early on, you can actually avoid a lot of abuse upon you. Because when people are doing things for you that they in their souls really do not want to do, it angers them. Think about it. Would you want someone making you do something that you did not want to do? Would you? No, you wouldn't. What if someone was trying to make what if someone was trying to make you do something that you even were morally against? It was against your belief system to do it. And they consistently tried to make you do it. Now, in this case, okay, in the other case with the praying incident that I just threw out an example of, right? You weren't making that person do the prayer. They came to you and even suggested that you pray. However, what people like that do, many times they're also people that lack patience. So people that lack basic patience won't be very empathetic anyway. Okay? So they have character traits about themselves that do not benefit a team type partnership. Okay? So just keep this in mind. You have to understand the subconscious mind. So what people do, basically, this is the game. I'm going to explain it to you because I've had it ran on me so many times. It could be, okay, another example. Say you are going on dates with a man, right? And I'm not talking about a few hours and hours late, okay? But say every date you're 5 to 10 minutes late. I mean, literally, people, I would give a person, I've been a late person. I give people a grace period. You know what I'm saying? Because if I schedule a date, I'm not going to schedule nothing too close to that date time. So minimum 15 minutes grace period. Because what if traffic was bad? What if they weren't able to leave their jobs at the time they thought? Things happen, especially when people are leaving another location before they get to you. So you're 10 minutes late, 2 or 3 dates, right? And the man says, I can't date you anymore. You're 10 minutes late every date. And he's serious about it. And you went on 3 dates, right? This is what could be going on. So he says, nope, I'm done with you. This is what really could have happened. He was expecting to get sex after that first or second date. Okay, so he's a narcissist that sees that, for one, he's wasting his time because he had an expectation of you that you did not meet. Because you're waiting to go on 10 to 12 dates before you even consider marrying or laying down with this man, right? But he's going to use the excuse because you gave him this easy excuse. And sometimes that's a good thing. Give him an easy excuse. Be yourself. Be not so perfect to give him that excuse, because you actually weren't 10 minutes late all 3 dates on purpose. There was actually some sort of construction work being done. So this is also divine intervention also. Okay? So keep in mind that the Lord allowed you to be late so that this fool could discard you and tell you, no, you're a horrible woman. You must be a narcissist. You've been 10 minutes late for 3 dates. I'm looking for somebody more perfect than you. And you're just not good enough. You actually, on the second date, you wore a color I didn't like. And the third date, I think I smelled you. See how this fool just went off on you? And most of what he said are actually lies. Okay. So just remember that, because this is one of the things that when I look back on my life, some of my most abusive situations, even some of the situations where I could have become a little on the abusive side due to my stress disorder, right? I didn't want to do it neither. And even if I wanted to do it, I was so stressed out dealing with my own mental health. Was I really mentally capable to handle the responsibility? No. So I've been in situations where I've been somewhat angered or somebody's got on my nerves because I just had enough on my plate. But see, people want to put their food on your plate. You have enough food. You're already gaining weight. You already have a full course meal. But people will want you to eat their food too. They want you to commit gluttony. They want you to eat your food, theirs, their kids' food. Let's see if we can get her to about 800 pounds. So basically, the bottom line of this particular service here is don't let people manipulate you. Think about it. How would you have treated that person? If I was praying and you interrupted me, I may politely say, well, I don't think that's a good idea to interrupt me during prayer. But if you explain to me why it happened and it's genuine, and you basically ask me, I promise you I won't do it again, I will say, okay, let's start the prayer over, because that's prayer, right? See, somebody that's praying also, they're showing godly character. And godly character is charm. Remember that. When you see somebody acting all mean and evil and their character is the opposite of charming, they're not displaying godly character. So I hope this helps. I really hope this helps. And I want you not to feel so guilty, because sometimes, especially empathic people, you're like, oh my goodness, I really deserve what that person did because I did interrupt them in prayer. Oh my God, I would have not prayed with me again too. Please don't get stuck in that zone. You got to look at it from more of a rational, logical point of view. People like that, they're showing you that they're very mean, for one. Two, they don't want to do it, y'all. Learn better to see the warning signs. Right now, I'm not gonna, well, I'm gonna say this. The Lord is actually putting people around me that really want to be bothered. Okay? And a lot of it's coming through my sons. It's so different being around people that genuinely want to be bothered. And sometimes this is what happens too. When you're around the people that do want to be bothered and you don't take them up on their offers and they really care about you and like you and it's genuine, they get kind of sad. You know that? They actually feel hurt because they genuinely care about you for the right reason. So pay attention to people's moods. Okay? especially if they start inviting you around and you don't show up and continue to come around. And it could be because your work schedule got a little hectic. There's things that happens, but pay attention to their mood and just let that person know, hey, I'm sorry I didn't make that last event. I got tied up. But when is the next one? I actually just did that today with the family. My sons are with them right now. Okay. And I had to let the gentleman know, hey, we missed the last event at your home. When is the next one? And, I could tell he was happy. He was genuinely happy to hear that we wanted to come out. So just keep that in mind, because there is the opposite scenario that comes in play too. However, pick up on those red flags of people that if you dropping a penny on the ground can make this person back out of what they just showed you they wanted to do, and you dropping that simple penny made them want to back out of it, they didn't want to do it in the first place, y'all. Get out of those situations. Get out of those situations. Nip that in the bud in the very beginning. Nip it in the bud, because it's just not worth it. And be very transparent with the person. If they want to, and normally, let me tell you what will happen. If you drop that penny and that made them back out of what they so-called claim that they wanted to do, they're not going to schedule a time with you to do it again. So, okay, they're going to say, nope, you dropped that penny, not praying. Nope, you interrupted the prayer, don't want to pray. And at that point, they're going to kind of vanish from that particular thing. And keep in mind, this person, there's a lot of manipulation that goes on when you have a faith-based spirit, right? So when you have a faith-based spirit, men and women will play as if they want to pray to manipulate you to get something out of you, whether it be your money, your body, whatever it is that they want to get out of you. That is what they will play on. They will play on your faith. A lot of times, this person ain't even prayed for the last 5 years. See, you're praying every night, I hope. At least you should be praying every night. If you're not doing that, please start doing that, because it will help you a lot. So, yeah, basically, they're manipulative and they don't want to do it. And if I could turn back the hands of time in my life, and if I would have recognized the red flags of people that didn't want to really do something either for me or with me, then I would have lived an abuse-free life. Because most abuse, to be honest, is coming from the stress of really not wanting to do it anyway. I'll give you an example. I was watching a video today, and this little girl, her mother died when she was a baby. So her aunt took her in, okay? I think it was her great aunt. And so she kept her for 9 years. So the great aunt ended up passing away. So now this little girl has lost her biological mom and her great aunt. Okay. So the great aunt's daughter basically borderline kidnapped the little 9-year-old girl, just ran off with her, without being transparent with the relatives. But they did have phone contact. So she explained to them that she wanted to give her a better life. Now, this is the biological daughter of the great aunt, okay, that took this little 9-year-old girl. But come to find out, she took the little girl to basically torture her and get revenge on her because she was upset that her biological mom, because the great aunt's daughter that came and kidnapped this little 9-year-old girl, the great aunt had not taken care of her biological daughter, which is the kidnapper, right? I hope this is making sense. So basically, the kidnapper felt like my mom took care of you for 9 years and treated you well, and she didn't treat me well. She tortured that little girl and ended up murdering that little girl, beat the little girl to death, took her to Chicago, put her mutilated body under a underpass in Chicago, okay? So the moral of the story is this. I don't know the kidnapper and murderer's heart. However, I do know this. She also had other foster kids and adopted kids that she was taking care of, that she tortured and punished and starved and abused, right? But I can tell you this, and this is why I'm bringing up this example. That woman that kidnapped that little 9-year-old girl, along with having the other foster kids and orphans and whoever else she was taking care of, right? She didn't like kids for real. Not only did she really not like kids in her heart or really like kids, she also did not want to take care of them. So, in my opinion, a lot of the torture probably came from her really not wanting to do the job. She probably wanted the financial support from the kids, but at some point she wasn't even getting the same financial support because she ended up adopting the kids. So I think once she adopted the kids, she wasn't no longer getting the foster care income, okay? So, and you see a lot of these child abuse cases, and many child abusers, or for one, they're immature. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have the mental capacity to take on the position. Like, for example, the kidnapper in this particular story, her mom abused and mistreated her, but she did not abuse the 9-year-old girl that she had kept for 9 years. And that could be because when she was taking care of her biological daughter at the time, which was the kidnapper, maybe she was very immature and she lacked parenting skills. Okay, so remember, the best parents are mentally and emotionally and spiritually mature. That's why you have such nightmares when you have babies having babies. I was one of those people. Babies having babies. Okay? And yes, it was a nightmare too, because the mental maturity is not there. How can it be there and you're 15 years old? Okay? And this is something I even had to tell my daughter. And, she thought I was very cold hearted. But my daughter, when I was a baby, I had this daughter. Okay. So, and so was her father. Her father was a baby. Babies having babies. Okay. And she complained about our parenting styles. She also was very ungrateful for the good that myself and her dad had. She was a very ungrateful person, in my opinion. She had very little gratitude. Some people ain't even met their real parents in life. Some people have been adopted and have closed adoptions and are not allowed to even know the people that brought them in the world. Okay. So you got to have basic gratitude for even knowing who your mother and father is. Okay. So I had told my daughter, this is my firstborn, right? I told her, I said, what do you expect? Because over time, I'm not going to lie, I got sick of the complaints because it's not getting her in a better spot, neither. These people, sometimes you got to move people towards forgiveness, or at least move them to the point where they'll go ahead and discard you out of their life, because the Lord doesn't put anyone on earth to be tortured for the rest of their life by somebody else that's upset with you. I could have easily went down to the abortion clinic and had that taken care of. But my grandmother didn't believe in abortion, and I took on my grandmother's beliefs. I didn't believe in abortion because I felt like at an early age I believed in the Lord, and I thought that that was murder. So did my grandmother. My grandmother didn't say that she believed it was murder because of her faith level. However, I added that on to myself. So I took on my grandmother's belief of believing that murdering what came to be my daughter was the wrong thing. But my daughter had very little gratitude for even that. Okay? So you can't always make people feel a certain way. However, I was very transparent with saying, I'm sorry, I didn't do a good enough job for you. But you got to look at, and I told my daughter one time, I said, you want a perfect life when you know that both of your parents came from dysfunctional situations and were corrupted themselves as children. So you're expecting two children that both came from some level of dysfunction. And I think her father's level of dysfunction coming from his background was even worse than mine. I told my daughter, because my daughter was very intelligent, I said, you got to think about this logically. You're lucky me and your father didn't take you and throw you in a garbage can. Be thankful that that didn't happen. Okay? So at the end of the day, we have to recognize, but I am going to say this. I wanted to be my daughter's mother. I did. Genuinely, even though things did not end up perfect, I did want to be her mother. I did. I did want my daughter. I did. However, at the end of the day, child abuse, a major root of it is the immaturity. Just like going back to the case I'm saying, where the kidnapper's biological mom abused her. But then when she took in the infant child that was her niece, great niece, I think would have been what she was, and kept her for 9 years, she treated her well. Because for one, she had grown older. Two, she was obviously more mentally mature. She obviously didn't hate kids. It just seems like the first one she abused because she didn't know the proper information. That's what that situation looks like. However, that first victim that she abused, which was her biological daughter, became very severely mentally ill and was actually a very evil and wicked grudge holder. She did not forgive her mom for that. And that is a sin. The Bible says, obey and honor thy mother and father. It didn't say honor them because they were perfect to you. You're just supposed to honor and respect them on a basic level. The foundation of it should be very respectful. Okay. So this is just my ministry on that. Basically, be aware of people that make it seem like you're doing something so bad and they want to pull out of it and hold a grudge. Pay attention to the fact that they don't want to do it in the first place, and they very well could be not cut out for it, and avoid your own abuse. Okay? Because someone continuously doing something for you that they don't want to do, and also at the end of the day, that's not love. If you can drop a penny and make somebody not do what they said they would do for you because you accidentally dropped that penny, they don't love you. Okay? So you want to be around situations where people actually have caring hearts. Okay? And so this is just the lesson for this particular lesson. I just posted a Wednesday night ministry, and my sons are involved very much in their youth group, and they participate in spiritual activities within their youth group, and it's Wednesday. And so I need to be investing in my ministry channel while my sons are investing in their spiritual life. Wouldn't that be the right thing to do? I think that would be the right thing to do, because my sons can't get me to heaven. Yeah, they're going to get brownie points because they're praying to the Lord right now and participating in godly activities. But I'm not going to make it to heaven based on what they're doing. So I got to be doing my own thing here when I'm here alone. I have a lot of thoughts that be going through my head, and I gotta get them out somewhere. And people have gotten a lot of thoughts out of their head on YouTube, and it's helped me. It's been many a Wednesday nights where I sat up here and I listened to another YouTuber. However, when you love the Lord and you are able to speak and preach and minister, and you come from leaders, male and female, there comes a time when you need to be giving your own message too. So if you have messages to give, you need to be starting a YouTube channel too. I don't care if just 2 people view it. That's 2 people that you're helping. Okay? So anyway, please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy this ministry. Thank you so much.